I can do afterward. As I said, only God knows what I'm going to say. I think that God knows what in my mind, in my heart, for the last, 2 more days, I'll be here 8 years. How's that? I am sure that God knows in my heart that I want to be on your behalf to thank God who bless us with this beautiful church that we can come together to worship God here at St. John Paul II. So first and foremost, I like to thank God. But secondly, I like to thank Archbishop Costello. At the beginning of the Mass, when people start to come in, Archbishop Costello turned to me and he said, I think you built your church a bit small, Father. And I think it is a bit small because we didn't expect this big crowd. I put in the Servorians 800 posts. And toward the end, we start to break the hosts into 4 and then into 8. And now we got about 10 hosts in the Blessed Sacrament. So I think there's more, certainly there will be more than 800 people in this church here. And I thank Archbishop Timothy who has so much faith and trust in me that he appointed me here. Not so much to build a church, but to build a community. And this is such a beautiful community that I have been with for the last 8 years. So I thank Archbishop Costello for having faith and trust in me. Thirdly, I like to say thank you to Bishop Don. The reason that I am standing here today is all because of Bishop Don. I recall on the 20th of September 2014, 20th of September is my mom's death anniversary. And Bishop Don came to Old St. Greenwood for confirmation. And after confirmation, I asked Bishop Don, is there anything exciting happening in our archdiocese? And he said, oh yes, we are thinking of establishing a new parish in Banksia Grove. And I don't know why, but I said something like this to Bishop Don. I said, if you're looking for a candidate, you might like to look one that is young enough to have the energy and experience enough to build a community. And then I think this eye lit up, and I think I can read his mind that, we found a candidate. And I think the rest is history. So thank you, Bishop Don. So, my brother Chris, my advice to you is, never ever give the bishop advice. But I also like to thank Bishop Justin and Bishop Joseph. Bishop Justin is like a father to me, and Bishop Joseph is a brother to me. Both of them have been so supportive. They always there to give me encouragement to build this beautiful community and this beautiful church. So thank you, Bishop Justin and Bishop Joseph. I'd like to thank my brother Chris as well. They are so supportive as I built this church. Always say, how's the church going? Yeah, it's wonderful that you take up the challenge, and so thank you for your words of encouragement. And I now encourage you, if you ever going to build a church, take it up. It's a beautiful experience. You can all see Archbishop Costello after the Mass. I also like to say thank you to the school community, especially the founding principals, Trish Davies, Chris Lance, and our current principal now, Martin Tucker, the staff and the student. You are so wonderful. For the last 8 years, you have provided one of the classroom for us to celebrate weekday Mass and the school undercover area to celebrate Mass on the weekend. Especially the year 5 and the year 6, I'd like to thank you for the last 8 years. Every Friday, you have been helping us setting chairs in the undercover area to celebrate Mass. So those students, I thank you as well. And of course, I can't do this by myself. I cannot do this with the many wonderful parishioners who work so hard behind the scenes. People that like the choir sang beautifully, the order server, the acolyte, the people that come and put together the church the last few weeks, especially each day, every day after 8 a.m. Mass, we come and work until 5 p.m. and all that. And of course, many other times that we have done great work together. Thank you, parishioners, for your great work. The other group that I want to mention is friends and benefactors. You love our parish here so much that every event you came along and celebrate with us. You came along, especially with all the fundraising and contribution that you contribute to this parish here. So thank you very much, benefactors. Now, putting all of that, I like to thank, but on a more practical level, I'd just like to say thank you to DWA Architects. They have worked tirelessly with us, from our concept, and then they put into a drawing for such a beautiful church here. And this morning, I'd like to invite Mark and John to please come forward so that we can all see you and present a little gift for you. This gift will help you relax after all your hard work. The drawing from DWA Architect is so beautiful, and to interpret that drawing into this building, of course, we need builders, and we like to thank Metricon Builders, and today we have Ross and Grant here. So again, I invite Ross and Grant from Metricon Builder to please come forward. The next one will be a big surprise. The next one is for the deacon himself. You know what? Deacon Nicholas is the longest seminarian that I ever had on pastoral placement. Archbishop Costello was going to appoint him somewhere else, and I said, no, you can't do that, Archbishop. I need him here, because he's such a good builder, and he can help us with a lot. That's why he's here that long. enjoy because Deacon Nicholas is going to be ordained in about a month and a half. So, the next one that I'd like to invite to come forward is Tony. Now, Tony, I don't know, but I don't think I can build this church without the help of Tony. Practically every week, Tony and myself meet together at least for 4 or 5 hours, like every week. And he's a wonderful accountant, he's a wonderful bookkeeper, meticulously, just like Deacon Nicholas, whose parents are German. Tony's his parents also German. I think the German got that meticulous. Because of this generosity, in this church, you see many signs and symbols, and sign and symbol talk a lot. When I was taking up the task of building this church, I was going around to look for different churches, and one of the church that I had to go to is our mother church, which is St. Mary Cathedral. I noticed that on the Station of the Cross, there's an image of a very familiar face. And so I reflect on the generosity of Tony to Joseph Arimathea. And so therefore, if you look at the station number 14, that's Tony's face in there. And so therefore, instead of making one station 14 of the cross, I made 2. So here come your presence here. You know that people say that behind every successful man, there stands a woman. Well, behind an average priest like me, Archbishop Costello, there are 4 Dominican nuns. Like Tony, I don't know how I can do without Tony, and definitely I don't know how I can do with the help of the sisters. You know, they give the feminine side of things to our parish here. Many attempts, I know that they say, ooh, going to see Father Vinh? No, I better go and see the sister first. So sisters, your work in this community is greatly appreciated, and I too have a gift for each of you, and it's a mystery. Only when you get home, you know what the inside. So, may I invite the 4 sisters to please come forward. Do I need to thank anyone else?
Yourself.
Well, you know, when I take up the challenge of building this community, this church, as I said, I visited many churches, and one of the church, apart from the cathedral that I mentioned, Yanchebuk Parish. And when I got to Yanchebuk Parish, and Father Doug, who took over from Father Brian Rossman, he pointed to the stained glass window. He said, "Are you going to have a cat like Father Brian Rossman?" I said, "No, I'm going to have a dog." And he said, "Why?" And I said, "I was born in the year of the dog." But I think it's more than that. We have written a little book about the symbol of the church. The dog here got the faith story into it. By the way, I think Father Brian Rossman must be a Vietnamese, because this year, the Lunar New Year, the Chinese celebrate the year of the rabbit, but the Vietnamese celebrate the year of the cat. That's why. Building this church, I have many beautiful memories. I see the many generosity of the people that are here, people that are elsewhere, overseas as well, be it in Singapore, in Vietnam, in America, in France. They contribute to this beautiful church. What touched me the most was about a year or so when I got to Banksia Grove. Someone rang the doorbell and the presbytery and say, "Are you Father Vinh Dong in Paris, in Banksia Grove?" I said, "Yes, anything that I can do for you." And she said that she's here today, and she said that, "I heard, I'm not a Catholic, but I heard you here to build a church. It's a wonderful spiritual place for the people. And can I contribute to a Catholic church?" I said, "Of course, you can tell your friends." I have contribution from even the Buddhist people. The many fundraising that I did during my times here, the Buddhists came to our fundraising and I asked them, "What is it that brought you here?" And they said, "Father, 40 years ago, we came out here with nothing, and the church helped us. And now we heard that you building a church, can we help?" How wonderful is that? Building a church, as I said, my brother Chris, is a beautiful things in my ministry. Not just the church, but the community. When I was appointed here, I visited many priests and asked for their advice. Two came out very clearly. They said to me, one said, "Build a church and you will have people that will come." And the other one said, "Build a community and when you got the people, you have the church." I came home that very day. I asked myself, do I have a chicken or the egg? And I say to myself, I don't have either the chicken or the egg. And so therefore, I decided to build both together. I think as beautiful this church is, it is because the people of God that gathered together. And that's my experience of building this church. As I said, only God knows what I'm going to say, but I got many more things to say, but I think that would be enough. I just want to say thank you, everyone, and may God bless you all. See, that's why I have the deacon. He reminds me that I need to do now is a time capsule. The time capsule will be open in 50 years' time. And I asked myself, what will go into the time capsule? And I recalled my times when I was in the Good Shepherd Parish in Lockridge with Father Dan Foley, who built that beautiful church. I asked him, what did you put in the time capsule? And among the many things that Father Dan Foley put in was a bottle of whiskey. Can I take a bottle of whiskey up here? Unlike Father Dan, I have two bottles, a big one and a small one. Father Dan said to me, I put in a bottle of whiskey, and in 50 years' time, the future parish priest, whoever he or she might be, will enjoy it. But for me, I have put two, because I think I like the future parish priest to use the big one to auction to get some money to renovate the church, and that he can drink the smaller one. And I have this bottle of whiskey. I came here in January, on the 28th of January, 2015. And a year later, in January 2016, when I went to Vietnam, and on my way back, on the 9th of February at 5:22, I got a receipt in here, and I bought it. So this bottle is already 6 years old. That was that, and we're going to put in the time capsule. I have written something to go into the time capsule for the parish priest to drink a small one. And guess what? Deacon Nicholas said to me that in 50 years' time, he will only be 79 years old. And he said that he hoped to be the parish priest here. And they said, no. Father Vinh meant that I drink the big one and auction the small one. Among this one here, can I have the ashes? When I got here on the 28th of January, and then of the 18th of February, we had Ash Wednesday. And of course, I just got here. I got no time to burn. And so therefore, I quickly rang up Old St. Parish in Greenwood. I said, could I please have some ashes so I can use for Ash Wednesday? And guess what? They put a label, Father Vinh's ashes. Again, I already written in a few words to go into the time capsule. Otherwise, I was thinking, what? Can you bring all the stories? The next thing that I want to put into the time capsule is the stories of how we get here. I invite parishioners to write how they get to Banksia Grove. And I invite them, if they can't write English, write in their own native tongue. Because just as Father Vinh ashes, their English might be broken, but at times I said, no, your English is smashed. And so I invite them to write in their own language to put in here. During the pandemic, the Australian government is the one and only government in the world that produce $1 coins as a donation coin to donate to other people. What I have here is $2,023. This year is 2023, right? So, all these cones that have a special thing there. So we're going now. If you already see that this cone is already now worth a lot more than $1. So I hope that again, when I put things in, I hope that in 50 years' time, whoever the priest might be, say, thank God, the first parish priest left me something to renovate. So I hope that it will increase in price. If not, at least they have $2,023. Apart from the cones, I recall when I first came to Australia in the early 80s, the $1 and the $2 notes were in circulation, and then it stopped by about mid-80s. So I got these to put in, and then the $5, and then the $10, and then the $20, and then the $50, and then the $100. So all go in there. I hope these are already 40 years old. By 50 years time, it's almost 100 years old, and the next parish priest might do something about it. We also have the commemorative medals from World War I and World War II to be placed into our parish statue. This is the last one. I was sitting down having a drink with Deacon Nicholas and talking about what to put in. And I said, that boat there is a replica of the boat that I escaped out from Vietnam. And it has been with me for more than 40 years. And I said that one of these days, I'll drop that in the presbytery. The archdiocese come in and clean up the presbytery, and they see the boat, and they probably throw it in a bin. And I thought, what a waste if that happened. And then I said, maybe the fifth generation of Vietnamese, they might go back to their root. And if the parish priest at the time can be switched on, he'll get some money to renovate the church. I think building a church for me is not just this present generation, but many more generations to come. The church belongs as much as for us now, it is for the people that will come in the future. And if you can see, again, you see the tabernacle. The church is a boat heading out to sea. And as you can see in the Gospel of St. Mark, there was a storm, and the disciple was asking Jesus, don't you care we about to sink? And he stood up and he calmed the sea. We pray and hope that in our daily lives, we too have the storm of our lives. Just as when I escaped out of Vietnam on that little boat, I have the storm of my life. I pray that all who come here, when they look at the tabernacle, to know that the Lord is there, to give them His peace. So, with all of that, I think we will now invite Archbishop Costello and all the older servers. I'd like to invite the older servers because they are very young. I recall Ida, when I came here, she just born, you see, and she had the same birthday with me, that's why I remember. And you know, in 50 years' time, she will only be 58. She'll say, yes, I remember the time capsule go in. So may I invite Archbishop Costello and the older servers to please come forward.